Hi, this is Andrea for the A-List, and we're at Canadian Music Fest, and we've caught up with artist Jeff Martin. Thank you. So nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
So tell us, Jeff, can you tell us how you got started in music?
I started playing guitar when I was 7 years old. You know, an uncle of mine taught me my first chords, and had a bit of an aptitude for it, and an appetite, and a very curious mind. So at a very young age, I started listening to a lot of music. Like my father was a very big influence on me as well. Like he introduced me to blues and things like that. Because growing up in Windsor, Detroit being right there, so it was kind of a musical playground for me. And then around, you know, when I turned 13, 14, I started to develop a taste for music from different parts of the world, like India, the Middle East, and all that. You know, just wanting to get out of Windsor. You know, so that was the one way to travel, was through music in the mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And tell us how you've got to come to this point in your career.
Well, I mean, you know, my band, The Tea Party, had a fantastic career here in Canada and around the world for 15 years. We decided to call it a day back in 2005, and I just wanted to you know, sort of get out of the scene for a while and travel some more, find that passion again, things like that. And so now it's at a point where you know, I lived in Ireland for a while. Built a recording studio there. A new band, The Armada, came out of that. And I'm just at a very fortunate point in my life now where I can kind of do what I want, when I want, and you know, and have a great fan base all around the world. So it allows me to go to those places that as a young man I could only go to in my mind.
Right, right. Now, when you were younger, what artists did you listen to that influenced you and created such a passion inside you to want to become an artist?
Well, I mean, you know, as far as rock and roll was concerned, Led Zeppelin was a very big influence. And, you know, I kind of modeled the Tea Party on that, I guess, that power sort of, you know, that template. But what we did as a band was we went a lot further, you know, with the world music influences and things like that. And then a lot of world musicians like Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan was a big influence, Ravi Shankar, a big influence, you know, Hamza El-Din, Kalsum, places, things like that. So.
Okay. And can you tell us what you're currently working on?
What I'm currently working on? Well, I've just been writing some sketches for a new record. I don't know if it's going to be a Jeff Martin solo record. I don't know if it's going to be another Armada record, or it could be something totally different. Yeah.
Right.
So, but you know, but it comes, you know. So I'm happy that that flow of energy is still coming through me, and you know, the music is still there. So, and I'm doing a lot of producing as well. I've just I produced a band from Melbourne, Australia called The Eternal, which I'm very proud of, and they'll be coming out next year. So my dance card is full.
Very, very busy guy. With keeping so busy, when you manage to find some downtime, what are some things that you like to do, you know, to kind of help keep you grounded and keep your sanity about you? And
well, for me, I mean, obviously I've got two homes in Australia, one in Perth and one in Byron Bay. And so, I've, you know, over the last year I've taken up surfing, which is a great sort of zen moment. I love to cook as well, so I love cooking Moroccan food and Jamaican food.
Wow.
So, you ladies can come over anytime.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you know, so like it's like things like that that just because if I don't do those two activities, I mean, my mind is always musical, you know, so I need to shut it off once in a while. So.
Right. Now, how is your role as a producer different as your role as actually being a performer? Is there one you prefer more than the other? Or?
Well, no, they both have their merits, and you know, I see not only am I a producer, but I'm also an engineer, so I'm very hands-on. And for me, the recording studio is a laboratory,
right?
And I work primarily in that old analog world.
Right.
And so I think bands, when they come to me as a producer because they want to get that sound, you know, that big Led Zeppelin drum sound, and you know, all those colors that you can get with analog gear. And yeah, so that's a wonderful, you know, that's me being the mad scientist, you know, but then me as the performer, the music that I've made is always very cathartic, so it allows me to get those emotions out, you know,
Right.
the darkness, the lights, and all that. And I think it's important because if I wasn't allowed to get those emotions out on stage, I might be a very dangerous person.
Now, can you tell us what you have, any plans you have coming up for 2010 or in the future as far as performances and any other projects that you're working on?
I'm pretty proud of the Armada. We just played a week and a half ago at the World Mad Festival in Adelaide, in Australia. So we were one of the headliners, and it was great, like massive, 25,000 people. With that whole community, you know, it was wonderful to be on the same bill as Ravi Shankar and Avishka Shankar, the Scatolites and all that. It was just, for me, it was heaven because all the world music and the community, that was great. And but you know, coming back here, I haven't been back to Canada for quite some time, so it was nice to reacquaint myself with, you know, the industry and things like that. And but from here, I play some shows in Halifax next week, and then I'm off to Istanbul doing some shows in Turkey, and then I'm doing some shows in Greece, Athens, and then back to Australia, and some more touring in Australia, some writing, and things like that. So yeah.
That's great. Like, sounds like a busy guy. When you're producing music, when you're working with a new group, what's the best advice you can give new artists? You know?
Well, it sounds simple, but in this day and age, it's difficult because you must stay true to yourself. You know, don't try to mimic the success of others. You know? And I find that well, it's always been that way. Like, you know, bands will see another band being successful, and then there's the whole copycat thing. You know, and you're not going to really get far.
So maintaining uniqueness.
Yes,
is
integrity is everything.
Right, right. That's good advice too. Well, we want to thank you for your time with us today.
Pleasure.
Really quick, if we could get you to look at the camera and just say, this is Jeff Martin and you're watching the A-List Online.
This is Jeff Martin. Hello everybody, you're watching the A-List Online.
Thank